Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Q2FY26 earnings season. And in today's video, we will be talking about Shanti Gold International. Okay, so let us understand कि like ये company क्या करता है, how does it, how is it better, or maybe is it as good or worse compared to the other players that are there in the same sector. हम इसको पूरा जानकारी इस वीडियो में बोलते हैं. My Hindi is bad, but you get the point. But anyways, okay. If you look at Shanti ka business model that is there, if you look at it, Shanti kya karte hai? These people are a B2B company which manufactures jewelry, okay? Which means what? Inka client are other jewelry companies where you and I go and purchase the jewelry from, okay? 100% B2B model hai, that is what they do, okay? And yahan pe, if you look at it, iska jo geography, where do they cater to? 95% comes from domestic and the rest 5% comes from, comes from export. Export maybe Singapore, UAE are primary, but other than that, you have USA, which is like hardly 0.5% in terms of sale. But majority, like I told you, 95 to 96% are the domestic say, 5% are the export say. Okay. Now, over here, a very interesting thing is, यहाँ पे ये कौन सा category का jewelry बनाते हैं? These people make this 22 karat gold jewelry, this cubic zirconia jewelry. Okay. In fact, you might have seen my video on Utssav, right? Which was a recent video that I did, which is a new B2B company that came up with a very bullish guidance, very great Q2 FY26 numbers. If you look at both Utssav as well as Shanti Gold, इनका promoter एक ही बंदा है, ठीक है? So the promoter is same. In fact, even the product portfolio is same. Even Utssav does your 22 karat cubic zirconia. Similarly, even Shanti Gold also does the same. Both of them make the same jewelry. Now, here is the thing. In Utssav ko call, they told that there is no sort of like connection between the both of the companies. Although only the promoter is the same, the CEO, the management, the product portfolio, everything is different. That is what they mentioned. But I do not know, but because I went through the DRHP of Shanti Gold that is there, and even these people in their DRHP, they mentioned more about that cubic zirconia, the 22 karat gold jewelry. There wasn't much in terms of like product portfolio, like zyada wo kya kare rather than this. Similarly, if you look at Utssav, also same product portfolio, same promoter. The third and the most important thing is these people told they have a non-competence agreement, with all the clients that they work with, right? So, non-competence matlab kya, like you can't bid for the same client at the end of the day, Utssav and Shanti Gold. But here is the thing, when somebody had asked them, ki, like, bro, who are your clients in Utssav ka call? Utssav had mentioned all these leading organized jewelry players in the south of India, such as Choy Alucas, Aapka, or Lalita Jewelers, Malabar Gold and Jewelers. These people are their clients. When I went to the DRHP of Shanti Gold, guess what? Shanti Gold ka client are also the same. If you look at, Utssav also told these people do bangles, chains, bracelet, and watches. Shanti Gold also does the same. So for me, here is the thing, whatever, I don't understand what your non-competence agreement is, in that Utssav ka call, whatever the management told, the non-competence agreement. I find it very hard to, very hard to, make sense of that when your product portfolio is the same, when you're catering in the same sort of segment, and along with that your clients also seem to be the same. So this is one thing that is very hard for me to digest, or I'm just not making a sense of it. But this is more or less a business model. यहाँ पे what they do, B2B है, jewelry company है, gold बनाता है ultimately, and that's it. That is plain and simple. Iska business model. Now let us understand the Q2 FY26 numbers. Iska, or why is this company that is they're getting so much momentum? Okay. And before I go into the Q2 FY26 numbers, I think I will have to highlight over here is with the jewelry sector agar hum baat kare, because one thing with jewelry sector is a lot of people thought in this quarter, that is Q2 of FY26, a lot of people thought like the steam of this this entire jewelry space is going to blow off very soon, because agar hum Q2 FY25 last time ka agar हम बात करते हैं, one is from वहां पे in the last Q2 of last year, what had happened was the import duty that is there, that was cut from 12 to 6%. Already Q2 is a very lean season because यहाँ पे monsoons होता है, Ashada season है, because of which it is not a very auspicious season for you to do any sort of functions or any sort of wedding, right? So Q2 में कम marriages होता है, so as a result the momentum in terms of earnings is not that great, right? So but यहाँ पे क्या हुआ था, because of this important cutback on the import, a lot of the people who were waiting on the fence, because even in last Q2 also also the gold prices has, had increased, right? It was at 7,000 or 8,000 rupees, right? That was still a pinch for a lot of people, because if you compare Q2 of FY25 to Q2 of FY24, again the gold price has increased. So a lot of people who were waiting on fence, waiting for the gold prices to fall, they went and they ended up purchasing the jewelry, right? That had what had happened. So we were coming off a really high base of last quarter. That is one thing, okay? Q2 of last year, see this Q2, if we see, there was a high base effect. Second thing is, again from last Q2 to this Q2, agar hum dekhte hain, again the gold prices has surged by roughly, I think 20 to 30% in that range, because now I think gold ka prices per gram is 10,000 rupees, I think somewhere in that range, versus last time I believe it was somewhere at around 7,000 and 7,500 in that range. So we've seen, a huge upside also. So iske wajah se people thought ki, like, ye sector jo 3 saal se bahut अच्छे demand कर रहा था, इतना अच्छा momentum था, probably all this momentum that is there, it could blow off. But unfortunately, or fortunately you can say, it has been quite the opposite. In spite of the huge rise in gold prices, in spite of a very high base of last year, each and every company that is there across the value chain, whether it is B2B, whether it is B2C, are posting amazing set of numbers. You would have seen in the B2C across the Kalyan, Gadgil, all of these companies that are there, Titan and everything, right? They're all posting great set, can you imagine the behemoth in this space, Titan, is growing by 20%. Imagine that. A large cap company is growing at 20%. And even if you look at all the B2B players, order pe order, chauke pe chauka, expansion pe expansion, matlab, kya chal raha hai is sector mein? It is absolutely amazing, to witness this. Okay. So obviously, yahan pe ek cheez, before I go into the result and, jump into that, one thing that is very, very, sure is ki, like, is sector ka demand jo hai, the smoke in this sector is still alive. Okay. We do not see any sort of stalling. We do not see any sort of headwind. We do not see any sort of, probably anything in terms of management, any management indicating like, yes, we do see a problem. None of it, at least, for the possible future. Now, अभी हम शांति गोल्ड का बारे में बात करते हैं. If you talk about Shanti Gold, let's talk about the result Q2FY26. First of all, the Q2FY26 result has been very stunning, okay? Because if you look at the growth on a Q2 on Q2 basis, you will see the sales grew by 67%. अगर मैं PAT के बारे में बात करूँ, PAT grew almost by 360% in that range, okay? 360, 370% से grew हुआ, okay? The second thing is the EBITDA margin and the PAT margin. If you look at EBITDA margin literally doubled, went from 7.2% to 14.7. Similarly, आपका जो PAT margin है, PAT margin went from 3.4 to 10%. And even if you take, मतलब, a lot of people might find this कि, like, how can a jewelry company, especially a B2B company जो है, जिसका scale इतना छोटा है, how can इनका PAT margin जो है increase by so much? Even that is also very shock for me कि, like, what did these people do in just a span of 1 year कि, like, इनका जो margins है, it is reaching up. Because अगर आप Sky Gold का देखते हो, Sky Gold का market cap is something around 5,000 crores, and those people have a big scale compared to it. Because अगर इन सबका capacity देखते हो ना, it is 1/3 of what Sky Gold does. Okay, what these people are manufacturing for a full year, Sky Gold does it in 1 month. And Sky Gold का PAT margins, if you see, it is around 6%. Utssav ka, if you look at it, is also somewhere around the same range. I think somewhere around 8%, but iska PAT margin is 10%. Like I'm telling you, last Q2 say, I do not know what has happened with this company. Ki, like, iska jo EBITDA margins and PAT margins has literally doubled and tripled, respectively. Another thing for me that is very, very surprising is also the volume growth. Ek cheez hai. Volume growth, agar aap dekhte ho, if you look at last Q2, okay, that is Q2 of FY25. If you look at it, it was 323 kgs last year, and this time if you see, it is 427 kgs. So the volume growth is roughly around 10 to 11%. But agar मैं Q1 का volume do, तो Q1 का volume is 387 kg. On a QOQ basis, you see that the volume growth is up by 32%. Year on year 10%, but QOQ volume growth is up by 32%. So there must be something that has happened in this last few quarters. We do not know what it is because a company concall nahi karta hai, so no clue what it is. So there must have been something that has happened either in the beginning of this year or somewhere at the end of Q4, beginning of this year, something must have happened. जहाँ आपका इतना capacity बढ़ चुका है. Think about it. Last time, see, on a year-on-year basis, volume उतना कुछ नहीं बढ़ा, but on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And let me remind you once again, Q2 is a lean quarter for everybody. So Q1 से Q2 में आपने इतना क्या capacity बढ़ा लिया, मतलब 323 से 427 kg, 30% का volume growth. That is a big question mark. I couldn't find the answers over there. Like maybe there has been already capacity expansion that has happened, something something of that sort, because of which you're getting this volume growth. Okay. So other than this, if I have to talk about, let me again stress upon the other factor, that is the margins. If you look at margins, like I told you, right, EBITDA margins doubled, PAT margin has gone from 3.5 to 10%, almost in that range. Although we were talking about in the beginning, right, that Utssav and Shanti Gold, agar aap dekhto, there is no difference. Same product portfolio, same promoter, same set of clients, right? Absolutely no difference. The only difference is Shanti Gold is a big brother of Utssav, because the only difference is the size. Agar whatever Utssav is doing in 1 year, Shanti Gold is doing it in half year. Matlab, size is the only difference. Shanti Gold is 2x the size of Utssav. That is the only and only thing. Other than that, there is no difference. In fact, this promoter that is there, he has 3 jewelry companies: Shanti Gold, Utssav, and there is another called as, I'm forgetting the name. It was there in DRHP. It starts from U. I think Ujmer, something of that sort. I'm not really. I just don't remember what I read in the DRHP. Out of that, these two, the first 2 are listed. The third one is not listed. So that is the thing. But वहाँ पे वो बोल रहा था कि like when somebody had asked कि like in the concall, he told कि like we are into that cubic zirconia, Utssav is into cubic zirconia and 22 carat. Versus Shanti Gold, अगर आप देखते हो वहाँ पे, if you see, they are doing more of a diamond jewelry. Although this is not exclusively specified in Shanti Gold का DRHP or PPT or something, it is not really specified. There is not really a breakdown as to like Shanti Gold का कितना परसेंट आ रहे 22 कैरेट गोल्ड से, कितना परसेंट आ रहे डायमंड से. बिकॉज इफ यू रिमेंबर इन उत्सव का मैनेजमेंट ने बोला था, दे स्टार्टेड दिस डायमंड ज्वेलरी हार्डली 2 to 3 months बैक एंड इट इज ऑलरेडी कंट्रीब्यूटिंग 2 to 3% इन रेवेन्यू. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट उत्सव का मार्जिन सेट इज वेंट फ्रॉम 6 to 8%, राइट, बिकॉज दे आर मूविंग मोर इनटू डायमंड ज्वेलरी. सो आई एम गेसिंग, I'm telling you this is nowhere mentioned. It is my assumption or my guess or my me inferring from the concall that happened with Utssav, that maybe इनका जो margins हम देख रहे, there is a huge shift in margins both on an EBITDA level and a PAT level. Maybe it is because these people are pushing more and more into diamond jewelry, and diamond is a high value category, high product margin category. Maybe that is why we are seeing this huge increase in margin. Okay, so that is with respect to the result. Now an interesting factor over here is, see, whenever we look as an investor perspective, we will clap hands whenever a company does great result in that quarter. But what is also important for an investor is that the runway for growth should be visible. Like, हाँ भाई तुमने तो इस quarter अच्छा किया, but as an investor I should be able to see कि like तुम ऐसे ही करोगे हर एक quarter में. At least I need to have that visibility, for at least a year or two. Something must be there, right? And we see that visibility again with Shanti Gold, because Shanti Gold का अगर, like I told you, these people are a B2B jewelry manufacturing company. इनका एक facility है which is in Andheri, which is in Bombay, in Maharashtra. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, अंधेरी में इनका एक facility है which is roughly उनका 13,000 square feet का facility है. Out of this, these people make around 2,700 kg का gold per annum बनाता है. कितना? 2,700 kg का gold. अभी बोल रहा है कि like 2,700 से they will add another 1,200 kgs. They will add. एक नया capacity add कर रहा है. In fact, to add this 1,200 का नया capacity, they've taken a land in Jaipur, which is a 50,000 square feet का land उन्होंने जयपुर में लिया है, which will add additional 1,200 capacity and taking up the total capacity, to 3,900 kg. So this capacity expansion is also happening, and this capacity expansion आगे जाके will give you the volume growth. I hope that the product mix change is already happening, which is giving them the value growth and the margins are improving. Leverage तो है इनके पास, and as an investor you make money जब ROE बढ़ता है. ROE का 3 पन्ना है. Always remember, ROE has 3 main factors. Asset turnover, which is your volume growth. Volume growth will come कहाँ पे? How will it come? Either you end up doing distribution, put up more number of stores. That is mostly for a B2C company. If you're a B2B company, you should be putting up Capex. And यहाँ पे Capex क्या है? You put up a new plant. Are they doing it? Yes. Product margin, which is the next, is a margin improvement which we need in terms of ROE, to go up. That is the second factor. यहाँ पे already we are seeing that the margin is improving. Even if they can sustain this margin, it will be well and great. The third is the leverage, which is fine, because out of these 3, even if the 2 factors run, even if the 2 wheels run, right, that is good enough for the engine. The only clarity clarity I do not have is this entire facility that they're putting up, right? जो यहाँ पे ये 3,900, they're adding 1,200 kgs. When will it be commissioned? कितना देर लगेगा? When will it be commissioned? When will it, contribute to the top line? इसका clarity मुझे नहीं मिला from the PPT or anything, ठीक है? So ये एक चीज है. Now let us do the P2P with both Utssav as well as Shanti Gold, and we will see who is good. Oh wait. Why can't I share my screen? Yeah, I hope this is visible. So as you can see, I've taken certain metrics, right, for both the P2P of Utssav as well as Shanti Gold. Okay, from the market cap itself, you can infer over here that, like I told you, like Utssav, Shanti Gold is nothing but Utssav ka bade bhai. That is the only difference. Other than that, there seems to be no difference between both the companies. पहला बात करते Q2FY26 का. Should I? Okay, never mind. पहला बात करते Q2FY26 का sales growth के बारे में, and you will see that, right, the sales growth that is there, it is मोटा मोटी on the same line. उत्सव का 67%, शांति का 61%. अगर हम PAT growth के बारे में बात करते, we see that again Shanti Gold is, has a much better operating leverage. Although उत्सव को भी मिला, but Shanti Gold got better operating leverage than compared to उत्सव. So पहला वाला point में उत्सव and Shanti Gold both are same, no winner. Second point, when we check about operating leverage, we see that Shanti is leading the race compared to that of Utssav. Third is we're talking about EBITDA margin. Again, EBITDA margin आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो. This is going from 6 to 9%. यहाँ पे 7.24 से 14.7%, right? Again, in terms of EBITDA margin also, who got the most expansion? Shanti Gold, right? So again, you see Shanti Gold is winning in terms of EBITDA margin also. PAT margin पे अगर आप देखते हो, here PAT margin is doubled, right? यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो 3 से 10 बढ़ गया. Again, here also you see, again in terms of PAT margin, who is winning? Shanti Gold is winning. Okay. Now let's talk about capacity addition. अगर मैं उत्सव का बात करूं, as you know, Utsav has, as of now, they have उनका भी एक plant है. They have 1.5 tons of capacity, and they plan to go from 1.5 tons to 2.5 tons, and it will be commissioned in Q4 of this year. I think by this year end it should be done, and Q4 of this year it should be Q4. It should go live. Okay, so that is there. So 1,000 kgs these people are adding, versus Shanti Gold is adding kitna 1,200 kgs, but we do not know kab ye 1,200 kgs is going to happen. If it happens in the same time as that of Utsav, then in that case again Shanti would win. Okay, but capacity bhi again you can see mota moti same set of capacity add kar raha hai. There is no difference over here also. The last thing we will have to see is guidance that is there, and this is where the entire game changes between Utsav and Shanti Gold. अगर आप उत्सव का देखते हो, उत्सव का मैनेजमेंट ने बोला that they are guiding for 1,100 to 1,200 crores, which is roughly an 85% का growth engine, because FY25 में they clocked around 685 crores in terms of revenue. Okay, so 685 to 1,200, roughly 85% का growth engine, and long term guidance in the upcoming 3 to 4 years they're targeting 4,000 crore in revenues, which is roughly a 35% का CAGR. Okay, and यहाँ पे उन्होंने guidance even in terms of PAT margin भी दिया है that it can increase by 1%, 1 to 1.5%. Okay, so that is also there. Okay, so that is 85%. Now Shanti Gold has done no con call, nothing, but we can infer it little bit. Recently, just right before making this video, इनका एक update आया Shanti Gold का that in the month of October is Q3 का month, right? October, November, December. They are telling in October they clocked the highest ever revenue, monthly revenue. October का सिर्फ एक महीना में they did 303 crore का revenue. Same time last October they did 103 crore of revenue. So October on October, if you see, that is 195% terms of growth in terms of revenue. Now let me give you the number. In this H1 they have done around 725 crores. Okay, 725 crores का उन्होंने revenues किया है. In October alone, they have done 300 crores. That is roughly 1,000 crore of revenue in just 7 months of operation. Utsav 1,000 crore revenue karega, 1,200 in FY25-26. And Shanti Gold has done already 1,000 crore ka revenue in the first 7 months of operation. Just to give you another scale, Shanti Gold ka FY25 ka revenue was also 1,106. Let me just show you this one thing. Yeah, can you see over here Shanti Gold ka revenues that is there? I hope it's visible on the screen. I don't think. Let me just. I don't know what has happened after I did a software update, that I cannot like switch between the tabs. Like I have to like share screen separately every time. Like, I don't know why it's not visible. Crazy. Anyways, never mind. I'm just going to stick to my Excel only. Guys, if anybody has a solution, just let me know. Yeah. Anyways, as you can see, Shanti Gold has done 1,000 crore revenue in this 7 months. And अगर last year का देखते हो, पूरा साल का revenue था उसका 1,200 crores, almost 1,110 crores. So I hope you understand the scale that Shanti Gold and Utssav are bringing, right? Unbelievable kind of scale. And अगर ये 7 months में शायद, I mean, एक महीने में 300 crore कर रहा है, is there is a higher possibility in the next 5 months, and by the end of the year they might reach somewhere at around 1,700 to 2,000 crore in terms of revenue. That is another doubling the growth, right? Doubling the sales from this base, that is from the FY25 base. So there is a higher possibility that even that Shanti Gold that is there, it can grow at a similar rate, 85 to 100% kind of growth rate, as equal to Utssav, because of the October ka sales data that is there. It is quite exemplary. Now think about it. अगर मैं roughly एक P calculation करूँ इसका 1 year forward P comes up to 8 to 10 Utssav का. But if I do a rough P calculation for Shanti Gold over here, if I take, okay, let's take 1,800 crores as a conservative sort of revenue, or maybe 1,700 crores. Okay, 1,700 crores in terms of revenue. I'm taking the PAT margin to be the same, which is 10%. Then the PAT we are expecting somewhere at 170 crore, for the upcoming year that is there. Okay, somewhere in that range. I do not know if that is going to be possible or not, but uh, if with the increase in PAT margin, it totally feels so, because is pura saal maybe they did around 92 crores in terms of PAT, and I think they should be able to do more than that, right? In H2 they should at least be able to do 100 crores. That's roughly, I think they should be able to clock at least 200 crores. So 170 to 200 crores agar main leti hu, the PAT to be 170 to 200 crore, market cap is 1660. 1660 divided by 170 is 9.7, and 1660 divided by 200 is 8.3. So again, the what do you call it, the 1 year forward P for both that is there comes up to the same range, which is 8 to 10. So this is probably the most trickiest game in the entire entire B2B space right now. Is that, I mean, it's literally insane. The fact that the product portfolio is the same, the promoter is the same, the business ka client is same, the sales growth guidance that is there, or what you can expect for the upcoming year, right? They're growing by the same estimation in Q2 on Q2. What you can expect for FY26 end is also the same, and on top of that, the P is also the same, right? But yes, the only thing over here probably is the immense operating leverage that Shanti Gold can get a lot of operating leverage from, rather than Utssav. That is the, I would say, the only differentiator between both. There is a higher possibility that because this year Utssav that is there, they will end this year probably with 70 to 80 crore of PAT, most probably. Okay, 70 to 80 crore PAT kar sakta hai, which is again another 100% growth in terms of PAT. But यहाँ पे Utssav, Shanti Gold can end at 180 to 200 crore, mostly 200 crore they can do, which is more than 100%, because last time was 70, right? So 130 divided by 70 is, yeah, 185% in terms of PAT growth. So operating leverage शायद Shanti Gold को ज़्यादा मिल सकता है than Utssav. But overall, if you see, there is no winner in this space. Both Utssav and Shanti Gold are growing at the same rate. The biggest game changer will be to understand कि if the margin improvement is further possible for Shanti Gold from 10 to probably even if a couple of basis point, and when will that 50,000 square feet ka, that the capacity where they're adding 1,200 kgs in Jaipur, when will it go live? That is very important. I also don't understand why Shanti Gold is not doing the con call. Matlab, bhai, tumhara promoter same hai. I know the CEO is different and everything, but ultimately a promoter is the same, and you both are listed. I mean, why are you guys not doing the con call? If your brother is doing the con call, I mean, if your younger brother is doing the con call, why you being the elder brother, why you not doing the con call? Like it's crazy for me. Like why the management is not doing it? But that's that. Great set of numbers with both. Absolutely great. There is no winner over here. Both are growing at the same rate and both will do. Only and only difference is probably that Shanti Gold, like I'm reiterating the same thing again and again, Shanti Gold stands a chance of gaining much better operating leverage, of having much better margins compared to that of Utssav. That is the only difference. And maybe that difference is because these people probably have a higher portion of revenue coming from the diamond portfolio compared to Utssav, because Utssav ka hardly is probably 2% or something in terms of revenue that is coming from diamond jewelry. So that's that, guys. That's that about Shanti Gold and Utssav Jewelries. And I will see you again in another video. And if you guys want to do similar sort of analysis, make sure you get the investment checklist workshop. And chalo, bye.